Welcome to our online class. Today we are going to revise chapter number 6, pronoun of grammar tree, page number 26 to 28. So we had already discussed the definition of pronoun, that is a word that used instead of a noun. So basically pronoun replace the noun. We had discussed some kinds of pronouns in previous video. In this video we are going to discuss other types like possessive pronoun. In possessive pronoun we are also going to discuss possessive adjective. In reflexive pronoun we are also going to study emphasis, and in interrogative pronoun we are also going to study relative pronoun. Possessive pronoun is basically used to indicate relationship between object and people. For example, if I am saying this pen or pencil is mine, that means I am showing the relationship between me and that pencil or that object, and I am using mine for it. This pen is mine. So I am using possessive pronoun. Or if I am asking someone that is that book over there yours, so basically what I am asking about the relationship between that book and that person who is in front of me. So same is the case with his, her, theirs. These are some possessive pronouns. So what are the difference between possessive pronoun and possessive adjective? As you can clearly see the words pronoun and adjective, and you already know that adjective is a word that qualifies noun. So it always comes or it always follows noun. If the word is possessive, the possessive case following any noun, that means it's a possessive adjective. We always mention noun after possessive adjective. So if we have possessive word and it is following any noun or it is coming right before a noun, that will be possessive adjective. And in possessive pronoun we do not mention noun after possessive. Let's see some examples. Possessive adjective. So how do we know that these sentences are possessive adjective? Because the first sentence is that your pen. So the pen is noun and it is following by your, a possessive case. Your is a possessive case and it is coming right before a noun. That means it is a possessive adjective. Or another example like, is this pretty young lady your daughter? So as you know, the daughter is a noun and it is following by a possessive case. So this possessive case is basically possessive adjective. Now how we have to change possessive adjective into possessive pronouns? For example, we have a sentence that is following by a noun. Is that your pen? So pen is a noun and it is following by a possessive adjective. How we will change into possessive pronoun? We will change the arrangement of the sentence. Is that pen? So here you can see pen comes before we change the position of pen in the sentence. So is that pen yours? So here you can see that there is no noun after a pronoun or possessive case. In the next sentence, he thinks this was all your fault. So over here, fault is followed by a possessive adjective. So we will convert into possessive pronoun. He thinks the fault. So we changed the place of noun, was all yours. So over here you can also see that there is no noun after a pronoun or possessive case. This is his house and his garden. So here we have two nouns and we changed the location or the position of nouns. The house and garden are his. Now rest of the few are done for you. Few examples are done for you. Rest of the sentences you have to do it by yourself on your copies. Now let's see what is reflexive pronoun. Reflect basically shows reflection of anything, of something. So basically that word or that that pronoun that reflect back to the subject is called reflexive pronoun. For example, if my subject is I, so I will use I or my, so I will use myself for reflection or for a reflexive pronoun. And if my subject is we or our, so we will use ourself for as a reflexive pronoun. If our subject is you or your, so we will use yourself. If our subject is he, she, female or male, so we will use accordingly himself or herself or themselves for they. So over here in example you can see you is performing any act, he is doing something. You is the subject of the sentence, so you looked at yourself, so you yourself is basically reflecting the subject you in the mirror. Now let's see what is emphasis. If we give emphasis to our point, or we are trying to convince someone and we are using pronoun for convincing, that means that is reflexive pronoun for emphasis. For example, we have sentence over here. So the basic difference between reflexive pronoun and reflexive pronoun for emphasis is this, that we cannot complete a sentence without using reflexive pronoun. If reflexive pronoun is compulsory for our sentence to complete its sense, that will be reflexive pronoun. And if there is no necessary, it's not necessary to use reflexive pronoun in the sentence, but we are using it to emphasize or to refer the or to reflect the subject, that will be using reflexive pronoun for emphasis. For example, in our first line, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? So we cannot say it like this, have you looked at in the mirror. Yourself is important. Yourself is important, so it is basically, so we write it's reflexive because we also have to write the names of pronoun used. So yourself is reflecting the word you, and it is simply reflexive because it was important to use reflexive pronoun over here. In the third sentence you can see they can pick up the parcel themselves from the post office. So there was no need to use reflexive pronoun over here. Or in other words, we can say that we can complete, or it gives us complete sense without using themselves. For example, they can pick up the parcel from the post office. So but we are using emphasis for giving emphasis, or for giving conveying our point. We are giving emphasis themselves, so they change into themselves, and we are it's an emphatic word. We are giving emphasis that it should be done. Rest of the sentences you have to do it by yourself. Interrogative pronouns. What are interrogative pronoun? Interrogative, basically we all know that interrogates means to ask question. So interrogative pronouns are the words that are used for asking questions. So in interrogative and relative pronouns, in both situations we use same pronouns, who, whom, whose, which. But if we are going to ask question by using these pronouns and we put question mark after it, that will be interrogative pronoun. But if we are using same words like who, whom, whose, which, but it's not for asking questions, it's for referring back to a noun or join two sentences, and we are not putting question mark, that means it will be relative pronoun. For example, in the second blank, the farmer whom we met on our way are gathering for protest. So there is no question mark after it, and whom is a word of interrogation, interrogative word. Whom is an interrogative word, but we are not asking question over here. We are not putting question mark after it. Whom is just referring the subject farmers. So that is why it's a relative pronoun. And if there is a question mark after it and we are asking some question, like in the sixth blank you have question mark over here, so whatever word you are going to use over here, that will be your interrogative word. So few are done for your help, and rest of the blanks you have to do by yourself. Thank you.